I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Joe, can you call the roll, please?
Yep. Marion Bond,
Here?
Tanya Kitis,
Here.
Patrick Kelsey,
Here.
Mike Hammond,
Here.
Ben Brazaska,
Here.
Mildred McNeil James,
Here.
Joe Yin.
Here.
Just want to make sure all commissioners have their microphones turned on. First item on the agenda here is the approval of the minutes of the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of October 5th, 2023.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of October 5th, 2023.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Commissioner McNeil James,
Yes.
Commissioner Yin,
Yes.
Commissioner Bond,
Yes.
Commissioner Yekitis,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelsey,
Abstain.
Chairman Hammond,
Yes.
Commissioner Brazaska,
Yes.
Okay, at this point in the meeting, I'd like to open it up for public comment period. So this is for anything not currently on tonight's agenda. If you'd like to step up to the podium, make a statement, please state your name and sign in. If there's anybody who would like to speak right now, just go ahead and step up to the podium. Nobody online? Okay. All right, moving on. Items for Planning and Zoning Commission action. PZC 2023-015 variance. Lisa Burial, I'm mangling your name, but 1330 Hinckley. Plan. Oh,
Yeah, so the petitioner is looking to put a carport in her front yard. Carport is not something that we have defined in the UDO. It does apparently meet our definition for gazebo. That is a freestanding, open-sided structure, often hexagonal or octagonal in shape, that provides shade and shelter in outdoor areas. This is something that we're looking to address with the next text amendment that we're working on currently. But since it's not in the UDO as carport, but could meet this definition, it's here before you to consider whether or not it meets the intent of the UDO. This is something that would be closer than typical to the front lot line. It's approximately a 20-foot structure, I believe, correct? Yeah, so you're looking at it getting closer to like 8 to 10 feet away from the front lot line. We have a rendering of what she's looking at in the packet. There are some vehicles parked in the backyard. This is something that normally we would say an accessory structure like this is only allowed in the rear yard, hence the request for the variance. It's a little hard to pave because the lot line is close to the house. The vehicles can get back there because the neighbor's fence is not right up against the lot line. Otherwise, it might be a little bit too narrow. The petitioner has made the requests due to considerations for aging in place and due to ongoing health conditions that make it difficult for her to clean off the car in the snow. And it's here for your consideration.
thank you. Does the petitioner have anything she would like to add? Yeah, please step up to the podium, state your name, and sign in up there, please.
I'm Lisa Bereni. I live at 1330 Hinckley. I own the property there. I'm here to get permission to get a shelter put in front due to the elements, and my neighbor has a huge oak tree up in their front, and it covers a good portion of my drive also, so protecting my vehicle, and then I have health issues that I'm not able to shovel, so it would help me there to be able to not have all that work. But, so I appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a view of exactly where this would go on this property line? Or,
So if you can look at, if you see the aerial, I believe it would be going where the silver vehicle is. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
clarify with the petitioner. No, it's- they have the- So yes, where the silver vehicle is parked in the aerial.
So the northernmost part.
okay. And this is a single-family home, correct?
No, it's a duplex.
It's a duplex.
And there's actually, I have a half a spot is where I want to put this, and then a full spot, which fits 2 vehicles, and then there's two slotted spots also there, and that's how my tenants use that.
Okay.
I thought it was a single home.
Okay.
I do have a question maybe for the village. Do we, if we approve this, is it only for one carport or one gazebo? Not any additional ones for other vehicles?
Correct.
Correct.
Thank you.
Lisa, for further questions, do you mind, do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth? The truth and the whole truth? Thank you. So you're just looking for one, and what about the other side? Do your tenants need something there as well?
I'm looking at it for mine. I'm not looking at it to do the whole driveway, so it would just be the one single.
Okay. Is there anything else in the village with a carport in front of the house like this, or?
Not that I can think of. Our previous zoning ordinance did allow for carports, but it only allowed them in the side and rear yard. So we have an instance here where we have a house that is oriented towards its interior side lot line and has, you know, the garage. What you would typically have a garage facing the street. It's just the side of the house and then the driveway leading up to it. So we kind of have a unique orientation of the dwelling unit on the lot, so.
If the variance is approved, does the variance stay with the lot in perpetuity? Or if the lot were sold, could this be sunsetted?
We can write it so it's sunsetted, if that's, would be the commission's desire. You can add that as a
I mean, we don't have
condition.
anything in the current UDO, so if
And
it
even our
continued on,
rewrite-
it would end up being a non-conforming
Mm-hmm.
condition if we,
My concern is if we approve one, how many more are there going to want to add a carport?
Well, that would also be something that we could address as we draft the next round of text amendment. Of course, we would do that in discussion with the village board to determine exactly what direction the village wants to go with it.
Okay, because I can understand it here because there's really no room with the lot line.
right?
Right.
You look at somebody just like east of there with the L-shaped home. I know they have a garage there, or the one to the south of there. several cars parked in the driveway.
Yeah, and of course, that is one of the findings of fact, that there is something unique about this property. So as Sonia had described, there is a uniquely situated thing that could be distinguishable from a request on another property in the village.
The only thing I would add, I drove by there today, and yeah, it's a unique piece of property, and all the houses, I think, were built at different times, so there's really no setback for the houses. It's very mixed.
So with that, I will go through the findings of fact. 1, the proposed variation will not endanger the health, safety, comfort, convenience, and general welfare of the public. It is the petitioner's opinion that proposed variations will not endanger the health, safety, comfort, convenience, and general welfare of the public. Staff concurs with the petitioner that the variations will not endanger health, safety, comfort, convenience, and general welfare of the public. 2, the proposed variation is compatible with the character of adjacent properties and other properties within the immediate vicinity of the proposed variation. Petitioner, yes, the structure will match the house and won't be in direct view of the neighbors. Staff, the structure is unlike others in the neighborhood and will be closer to the right-of-way than other structures on Hinckley Street. 3, the proposed variation alleviates an undue hardship created by the literal enforcement of this ordinance. Due to age and medical conditions of the petitioner, she's unable to access her vehicle when it has snowed. Staff, the proposed variation would allow the petitioner to remain in her home and continue to age in place. 4, the proposed variation is necessary due to the unique physical attributes of the subject property, which were not deliberately created by the applicant. Petitioner, the house is too close to the lot lines to put the shelter in the rear yard. Staff's comments, while the location of the northern neighbor's fence allow navigation around to the rear yard, the lot lines prevent the petitioner from paving an adequately wide driveway to the rear yard. 5, the proposed variation represents the minimum deviation from the regulations of this ordinance necessary to accomplish the desired improvements of subject property. Petitioner, it is the petitioner's belief that the variations represent the minimum deviation from the UDO. Staff, the proposed variations are the minimum deviation. 6, the proposed variation is consistent with the intent of the comprehensive plan, this ordinance, and other land use policies of the village. Petitioner, it is petitioner's belief that the variation is consistent with the intent of the comprehensive plan and the UDO. Staff, carport is not an intended use within the UDO. The petition has been brought before you so that you may consider the application of an alternative term, gazebo, as it might apply to the carport. Okay, so approval of variance relies on the findings of fact, and any questions or comments by the commissioners?
We do have one recommended condition. The carport structure shall be located as far from the front property line as practicable, but in no case less than 5 feet.
Got it. Okay, I'd like to open the public hearing. Is anybody from the public want to comment on this item before the commission right now? Nobody online? Nobody online. I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Commissioners, any further comments or questions or for staff or the petitioner?
I think it's, for me, rather straightforward. It is kind of a unique piece of property, and it is really tight, kind of thing. I have a concern of whether to add the comment that you made, Commissioner, in regard to whether the structure should go with the, property.
Well, the reason I ask is I think the staff and legal counsel should consider that as they take it forward to
Okay.
to the council or village board. And then likewise, we've found a number of things that have needed tidying up in the UDO since its adoption. And, this maybe is one of those places where we needed to broaden our thought a little bit beyond the essentially what's a master matrix that CMAP has developed, that they would like to see, all development ordinances in the region look like. So I do think there are some extenuating circumstances here. So I'm not suggesting that it has to have that sunsetting to it, but I do think it should be considered.
Yeah. It's just been my experience, and I think maybe others, that the historical portion of Montgomery has had its own unique, situations. And this seems to me to be one of those. That was,
Yeah, and typically a variation would run with the land, but we can discuss, prior to bringing it to the board to see, if you don't want to impose it as a condition, but rather a discussion point, that certainly we can discuss with staff and see if we think it's
a
appropriate.
discussion point and not a condition. We got a bunch of smart people, you can take care of it.
Anything else, or? If not, I'll look for a motion.
I move the approval of 2023-015 variance for 1330 Hinckley, a variance from section 9.03.c.6, cabana, gazebo, or pergola to allow a carport in the front yard with the following condition, that the carport structure shall be located as far from the front property line as practicable, but in no case less than 5 feet.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second, please call the roll.
Commissioner Kelsey?
Yes.
Chairman Hammond?
No.
Commissioner Brazaska?
No.
Commissioner McNeil James?
yes.
Commissioner Yen?
Yes.
Commissioner Bond?
Yes.
Commissioner Yekitis?
Yes.
Okay, great. This will appear in front of the board on the 13th. Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda. Is PZC 2023-016 annexation rezoning, 1322 Watson, Rolando Gutierrez. I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing, and this meeting will be,
We would be looking for
Continue?
a motion
Pardon
to
me?
continue it to our December 7th meeting.
oh, we need a motion? Okay.
Yeah.
So do we have a motion to continue? We've got a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, please call roll.
Commissioner Bond?
Yes.
Commissioner Yekitis?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelsey?
Yes.
Chairman Hammond?
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner McNeil James?
Yes.
Commissioner Yen?
Yes.
Okay. That again will come up before us on December 7th. Next item on the agenda is community development update and new business.
So, as you are aware, we're working on some more UDO updates. We are part of the EV readiness cohort as part of our Green Communities Compact initiative. So we're looking at a bunch of updates to the zoning regulations as it relates to being electric vehicle ready, as I like to call it. So looking at some changes in that, as well as our building code. So working through that, and then some other items that, continue to pop up, as you noticed with the carport, as we, uniquely apply our regulations to lots. So every now and again, something throws you a curveball, and you're like, I didn't think about that. So, it's a living document, so we continue to work on it and try to make it better. And so we hope that in January, that will be coming before you with some additional updates, and be working towards that. Additionally, we have our tentative meeting schedule for 2024. So I wanted to let you know that our July meeting in 2024 is actually July 4th. So I didn't know if we wanted to just kind of cancel July and play it by ear, and if we need to call a special meeting, we can, or we can just switch that date to July 11th and have a meeting the following Thursday. So kind of up to you guys. So,
I'm fine with canceling. I know a lot of people will be out.
okay. So I will say no meeting. Then if we need something, I'll give you the call to arms, and we'll see what we can get figured out. Additionally, we have Freddy's had their final inspection with the fire department and the village today. Sounds like just about everything is ready, so they've been given, not necessarily a temporary occupancy, but they've been allowed to start putting in supplies and get their staff in to start training. So they are hopeful that in the next couple of weeks, hopefully they will be open to the public. So keep your eyes out on an announcement on that, but we're excited that that finally got all taken care of. You might notice they've been out there landscaping this week, so we're excited to get that opening. You can see Cooper's Hawk continues to make progress out there right next door. Those of you that were able to make it out to the groundbreaking for Karis and Ravago, thank you for coming out. It was a really nice event, and was great to meet some of the Ravago employees and stuff that will be shifting over here to Montgomery. So it was a very nice event. So thank you for those of you who were able to make it. We do have a couple of items for the December agenda, so we will be having a meeting next month, as you may have noticed. So, but also this means that we're coming up to the end of the year, which means we have a couple of commissioners that are up for reappointment. So Commissioner Kelsey and Chairman Hammond, both of your terms expire January 31st. So let me know if you want to be reappointed, so I can get that on an agenda before our before our February meeting, I should say. So, and we'll make sure we get that on an agenda. And I suppose at that time, then we'll also need to make sure we select a chair again and get that all taken care of. So, anything else I'm missing, Tony? Updates? No? Okay. So those are my updates.
Thank you. Anything from commissioners? Nope.
Any update on Starbucks?
We issued the permit, but they haven't started breaking ground yet, so.
No Popeyes either, huh?
I know.
I keep asking.
They keep telling me they're still planning on going forward, but I still haven't seen a site plan, so.
Completion date for Grace Mill addition?
They are working through some structural issues and making revisions to the plans for the actual addition itself. We got the foundation in, so they've got some revisions they're going to have to make, and then hopefully we'll be able to get that turned around and reviewed and approved. They're also working with the fire department on their fire submittal, so they've got some comments to work on, but we're hopeful we'll be able to work through everything and get something issued here. We'll see.
Thanks. Next meeting is December 7th, 2023, and we are adjourned. Thank you.